Have you ever seen a clip online that looked so disturbing you were sure it had to be real, only to find out later that almost everything you believed about it was wrong? That is exactly what happened with a Roblox creator named Kai, whose name got attached to one of the darkest rumors I have ever seen spread through this community, that he had actually killed and eaten his own best friend. People were convinced. Police got involved. And the truth behind it is honestly stranger than the rumor itself. Stick around, because this one has a twist you will not see coming. But before we get into it, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash the like, because I post stories exactly like this one every single week, and trust me, you do not want to miss the next one. Okay, let us get into it. Kai and Tyler had been best friends since elementary school, and by the time they were both in high school, they had turned that friendship into a small but growing Roblox content channel, the kind where they filmed themselves playing horror roleplay games and reacting to creepy myths inside the platform. Their thing was building elaborate, scripted horror bits inside games like Sunset Hills, little mini stories they would act out together for their small but loyal group of subscribers, always clearly labeled as roleplay in their video descriptions, though almost nobody who eventually saw the clip that made them famous ever actually read that part. They had maybe 6,000 subscribers at the time, a decent number for two high schoolers filming out of Kai's bedroom on weekends, but nowhere near big enough that either of them expected anything they posted to reach beyond their own small corner of the internet. Most of their videos got a few hundred views, a handful of comments from regulars who knew exactly what kind of channel this was, and that was it. Nobody in that small circle would have ever mistaken their over-the-top acting for anything real, because they had seen dozens of similar bits before and knew the format inside and out. One Friday night, they were filming a new segment for a horror series they had been planning for weeks. A fictional storyline where Kai's character slowly loses his mind after being trapped in a cursed version of their favorite game, eventually turning on Tyler's character inside the story. It was scripted start to finish, complete with over-the-top acting, deliberately unsettling lines, and sound effects added afterward in editing. At one point in the raw, unedited footage, Kai delivered a line they had written together as a joke a few days earlier, something dramatic and intentionally ridiculous, along the lines of, "He is part of me now, I do not feel bad about it anymore." In context, surrounded by the rest of the scene, it was obviously a performance, campy and a little silly, the kind of thing they always laughed about after cutting the take. The problem started a few days later, before the finished, edited video ever went up. Somehow, a short, 10-second clip of that one raw line leaked out, stripped of every bit of context, no music, no editing, no indication it was part of a script at all. Someone posted it to a Discord server with a caption claiming Kai had accidentally streamed himself confessing to killing and eating his real best friend, and that Tyler had not posted anywhere online in almost a week. That second part happened to be true, but for a completely different reason. Tyler's grandmother had passed away that same week, and he had quietly stepped back from social media to be with his family, without making any kind of announcement about it, because it simply was not something he felt like broadcasting to strangers online. To anyone scrolling fast, though, the timing lined up perfectly with the rumor. A dramatic, out-of-context clip. A friend who had suddenly gone silent online. It spread first through Discord, then TikTok, then Roblox fan pages, each repost adding a little more certainty than the last. Comment sections filled up with people insisting they could tell Kai's voice in the clip sounded too real to be acting. Some accounts started digging through old public information to find Kai's real name, his school, and eventually, his home address. Within a single day, the 10-second clip had been stitched into at least a dozen different reaction videos on other channels, most of them much bigger than Kai and Tyler's own page had ever been, with titles that treated the whole thing as confirmed fact rather than an unverified clip. A couple of larger social media pages that regularly cover viral internet drama picked up the story too, running their own posts with dramatic captions, without ever once reaching out to Kai, Tyler, or anyone who actually knew them to ask a single question first. By the time anyone might have wanted to check the original source, the clip had already been re-uploaded so many times across so many different platforms that most people watching it had no idea where it had even come from originally, or that it was ever supposed to be part of a longer, clearly fictional video. Kai remembers sitting alone in his room that first night, refreshing the comment section on the re-upload with the most views, watching the number climb from a few thousand views to well over 100,000 in a matter of hours. Strangers he had never met were leaving comments calling him a murderer, tagging local news pages, tagging Roblox's official account, demanding someone investigate. A few people found his other social media accounts and started messaging him directly, some asking genuinely worried questions, but a lot more just sending threats or telling him they hoped he got arrested. He said he did not sleep at all that first night, just sat there watching it get worse, too scared to say anything publicly in case it made things spiral even further. Within 2 days, Kai's parents' house phone started ringing constantly with unknown numbers, some just breathing and hanging up, some outright screaming accusations the second someone picked up. Someone posted his address publicly in a thread with the caption, "Go check on him yourselves." And then, on the third night, police actually showed up at Kai's front door for what is called a wellness check, after multiple anonymous reports claimed a missing teenager might be in danger inside that house. Kai says that night is honestly the most surreal experience of his life, standing in his own living room in pajamas, trying to explain to 2 police officers that the friend everyone thought he had murdered was completely fine, just going through a hard week privately, while his mom stood frozen in the doorway holding her phone, not sure whether to laugh or cry. The officers asked him a series of calm, methodical questions, whether he could contact his friend directly, whether Tyler would be willing to confirm he was safe over the phone. Kai called Tyler right there in front of them, and Tyler, half asleep and thoroughly confused about why his best friend was calling him at 11 at night with 2 police officers standing in the living room, ended up talking to one of the officers directly to confirm his own identity and that he was completely fine. The officers were understanding once they confirmed everything checked out, but they told Kai's family this kind of situation was becoming more common than people realized. Viral clips taken out of context leading to real emergency calls, sometimes even far more dangerous responses than a simple wellness check, at addresses that were never actually verified in the first place. One of the officers, before leaving, told Kai's mom quietly that they had responded to 3 almost identical situations that same month alone, all connected to different viral clips that turned out to have nothing behind them at all. Tyler found out what had happened to Kai through a mutual friend, and immediately broke his own quiet week offline to post a short video, sitting right next to Kai, very obviously alive, very obviously unharmed, holding up his phone to show the actual timestamp on the video. He explained everything calmly, the horror series they had been planning, the scripted line, the raw, unedited clip that had leaked before it was ever supposed to be public, and the actual reason he had gone quiet that week, which he chose to share honestly, hoping it would finally put the whole thing to rest. In that video, Tyler also addressed something a lot of people had gotten wrong without realizing it: the assumption that going quiet online for a few days automatically means something is wrong. He said he understood why people worry, and that worrying is not a bad thing on its own, but that jumping straight from worry to spreading someone's home address, without ever trying to verify anything first, is where things go from caring to genuinely dangerous. He said he was not angry at people for being concerned. He was angry at how fast concern turned into certainty, and how fast certainty turned into targeting a real family's actual house. For a while, it seemed to work. The explanation video got shared almost as widely as the original rumor had, and a lot of people who had commented the worst things went back and deleted their posts, some even leaving apologies. Kai and Tyler eventually finished and released the actual horror series they had been working on the whole time, this time adding a clear disclaimer at the very start of every episode explaining that it was scripted fiction, something they had honestly never felt the need to do before all of this happened. Even now though, if you search certain corners of the internet, old reposts of that original 10-second clip still circulate every so often, usually with the same caption claiming it is real footage of a Roblox player confessing to something horrific, completely detached from the full explanation that came afterward. Kai says he has mostly stopped trying to correct every single repost at this point, because there are simply too many of them, scattered across pages he does not even know exist. Somewhere out there, someone is probably watching that same 10-second clip again for the first time, believing every word of it, the same way thousands of people already did. What still bothers Kai the most, even after everything got cleared up publicly, is how little it actually took to nearly ruin 2 teenagers' lives. One out-of-context clip, a coincidental quiet week, and a handful of strangers who decided certainty felt better than asking a single question first. He says the scariest part of the whole thing was never the clip itself. It was realizing just how fast an entire crowd of people can convince themselves something is true, and how much damage they can cause before anyone ever slows down to check. Kai and Tyler still make Roblox content together to this day, though they are a lot more careful now about what raw footage ever leaves their editing folder before it is finished. Tyler jokes that he has become the most alive missing person on the internet, and honestly, given everything that happened, he has earned the right to joke about it. So that is the story of Kai, Tyler, and the 10-second clip that convinced the entire internet a horror roleplay bit was a real confession. If this one had you questioning what was real all the way through, do me a favor, Smash that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next story, because trust me, there are way more of these coming. Let me know in the comments. Would you have believed that clip if it showed up on your feed with no context at all, or would you have gone looking for the full story first? I am coincidental, and I will see you in the next one.